ESPN's Champ Week, presented by Principal. Here in the heart of the OVC, the drama is real as the first ticket to the big dance will be punched tonight. Murray State, fresh off its comeback win against defending champion Jacksonville State, will tangle with Belmont, the #1 seed versus the #2, as two old rivals get set to tangle one more time here in Evansville, Indiana. Alongside of Adrian Branch, Roy Philpott, here's a look at how we got here. The top two seeds both received the double bye. Murray State, 7-point win against the Gamecocks, and Belmont, a crushing victory over Austin Peay last night in the semis. Well, the Racers this year, AB, led by the OVC MVP, Jonathan Stark, and what a player he has been this season.
Yeah, Roy has two distinctive qualities. One, he works hard, lives in the gym, and he's consistent. He has an ability with his quickness to get free for a three-point shot. He can cross you over, and his favorite player is Kyrie Irving. This shot right here, Kyrie Irving-esque, was a dagger last night.
Stark averaging nearly 22 points per contest, has been dynamite from bonus land, and will be critical for the Racers' hopes tonight. Well, a raucous crowd inside the Ford Center. Murray State represented very well, located just 141 miles away. And this, AB, is what it's all about.
The usual suspects, 1 and 2.
Kevin McLean will get the start tonight after suffering a hip injury in the first half last night in that win against Austin Peay. So good news for the Bruins to get this title affair underway. Murray State carries the longest winning streak into the country into this contest, and we are underway. Racers have won 12 in a row. Their last loss against Belmont back on January 18th. An early turnover. Here's John Morant. Wide open, Shaq Buchanan.
Two distinctive styles. Murray State right there wants to get out on live ball turnovers and run.
Want to welcome those viewers now watching on ESPN2. The Ohio Valley Conference Tournament Championship underway. Nearly 1 minute in, still scoreless with Adrian Branch, Roy Philpott. It is fantastic to have you with us tonight. The first ticket to the dance will be punched this evening, and the winner of this game will receive the automatic bid from the OVC. Step back triple, Ja Morant, the South Carolina native, connects.
Two distinctive styles, Roy. Murray State wants to get out and run on every loose ball, every live ball turnover, and Belmont wants you to make a mistake so they can light you up with a three-point shot or a backdoor cut for a layup.
Murray State has won 12 games in a row, longest winning streak in the country. Their last loss against Belmont. Two teams, AB, that are very familiar with each other and contrasting styles, as you indicated. Belmont loves to shoot the triple, third in the country in made threes this season. Murray State wants to get out in transition and be physical defensively. Austin Luke. And the rebound claimed by Murray State.
You can see the nervous energy right now. You're so fired up. Both teams are breathing heavy. And while you're trying to get your legs, you don't want to pick up cheap fouls.
Stark rejected out of bounds by Dylan Windler. First team All-OVC performer, known more for his offense. That's #3 in red for Belmont.
He actually did a good job of checking Stark the last time they played because Jonathan was not efficient. He went, I believe, 8 for 21. He usually shoots 9 for 14. Doesn't need a lot of shots to get his offense, but his height and quickness can challenge the three-point shot.
And here is Stark, the transfer from Tulane. Floater in the paint is good. And it doesn't take much to get his engine revved up.
Two fresh teams as well. They had a double bye, #1 and 2. So you're going to see everything hang out for the first official bid to the NCAA tournament.
Punching tickets. Stark throws up a brick. And perhaps feeling the heat of the moment. And I agree, some nervous energy in this arena.
Yeah, it'll take a little bit to settle down, but how refreshing is it for Kevin McLean to be out here? Just his presence as a starter.
3 minutes in almost, and Belmont still without any points.
Watch the high screen and roll. Stark likes to get inside the lane, or if they cut him off, he'll stop and pop for a three-point shot.
Sanchez down low, double team, goes to work, off the glass. 7-0 Murray State.
Watch Rick Bird. He's going to slow this down. He wants his team to keep this crowd out. You hear the crowd now. It's electrifying.
Yagakese lost control. Here comes Miller. 3-on-2. Bounce pass. Buchanan the flush. Wave off the basket. Traveling.
Good call. The house would have went off in here. It seems like it's a home game with the crowd support with Murray State. See blue and gold all over.
This tournament typically played in Nashville. This year it's moved here to Evansville, Indiana, and Murray State has showed up in droves. Yagakese straight away off the back iron. Belmont starts this one, AB 0 for 4 from the floor. Miller in and out.
I wouldn't be concerned with Belmont. Once they see that first basket go through the hoop, this should calm them down.
Oh, the nervous energy of Champ Week, and Windler had a double-double last night. A quiet 14 points, but he can go off.
Quiet. And 12 rebounds. He was so quiet with it, but he's so efficient, moves well without the basketball, and he's defending Jonathan Stark, Player of the Year runner-up against the Player of the Year.
8 to shoot for Miller. Attacking Yagakese baseline. Little drop step and pivot, and down it goes.
Terrell Miller is playing with such a enthusiasm and energy in his last year as a senior. We have not seen him play so well. He's been on fire in this
off
tournament.
The mark. He made his first 9 3-point attempts last night. Stark off to the races, rejected out of bounds. For those of you watching on ESPN News, our game continues on ESPN2 after this break.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Principal. Investments, retirement, insurance.
Well, back here in Evansville, Indiana, a rematch. The same two teams that met back in 2015 in the OVC championship game. Taylor Barnett, the big hero that night for the Belmont Bruins. Belmont trying to go back to the tournament for the first time since then, and Murray State for the first time since 2012. Adrian Branch and Roy Philpott. Fast start for the Racers tonight.
Yeah, they wanted, Terrell Miller said, we want to play at our pace, and you've seen it so far. They want to get out on missed shots and absolutely run. Put your track shoes on, but it's going to be a 40-minute battle. Well, the sounds of Champ Week
always incredible, and Matt McMahon talking with his team pregame moments ago.
Like I told you 6.5 weeks ago, our OVC tournament started a long time ago. This is round 13 of our OVC tournament. And we're 12-0 so far. And we're going to make it 13 tonight. Let's bring the juice. Bring the juice. Come on.
Ja Morant straight away. The triple goes in, and he's off to a great start. One of the top freshmen, not only in the Ohio Valley Conference, but also in America. More on him as we go through, and it's 12-2.
Plays with a chip on his shoulder the right way. Always wants to be aggressive and assertive. To the shooters, they have the quickness to occupy him. Now, this young man Mercer had a big game against them with his offensive rebound and putback presence the last time they played.
The 1 seed versus the 2 seed here in the OVC. Punch the first ticket to the tournament tonight. And inside checking in, Mac Mercer goes to work. And bothered by Miller, back to Murray State. And Wendler picks up the foul. That's his first.
The quickness of Murray State has bothered Belmont. They haven't been able to get into a rhythm. This is an offensive team that patterns their game after the Houston Rockets. They want to shoot threes or they want to get all the way to the basket. They don't want to shoot mid-range shots.
6 minutes in, Morant thought about it. Stark will load it up. And Egekese skies for the board. Now Belmont trying to weather this storm in the early going against Murray State.
Watch the white jerseys try to get to the red jerseys and not leave open shooters. Coach McMahon talked about getting there on the pass when the ball's in the air.
Air ball. Wendler off target. And a foul against Belmont. Mercer picks up his first, second team foul. And the Bruins in trouble early on what feels like a road game of the championship of the OVC. Bruins trail 12-2. Back in Evansville, Indiana, 12-2. Belmont trailing Murray State, the 1 versus the 2 here in the OVC. And Rick Byrd in his 32nd season in Nashville, leading the Bruins program. 5th active, winning as coach right now in Division I basketball. What a job he has done for such a long period of time. Inside, alley-oop, and there's Buchanan jumping out of the gym.
What a thing of beauty. The timing of that, the execution. They practiced that and shoot around, Roy, to try to catch Belmont napping. And watch him now. 28 seconds. You've got to defend in the half court with Murray State moving fast.
Racers putting on a clinic here in the early going. Luke with a steal. Belmont just out of sync, out of rhythm.
Well, one thing, the speed and quickness of Murray State has bothered them because they can get to the shooters. Every shot is a challenge shot.
And that three-pointer finally rolls in, Kevin McLean. And we'll see maybe if that opens things up for the Bruins offensively.
That's what that timeout was about. Rick Byrd, you can see him saying, settle down, settle down. Austin Luke as well says, my team goes when we can get off to a fast start. We play with greater confidence.
Belmont 1 of 7 from bonus land. An offensive foul on Terrell Miller.
It's all about the execution and watching the napping. Now, Buchanan just going unassertive. Austin Luke got caught ball watching. It was a late switch. And once he got up in the air, that's a highlight. Wow, a thing of beauty.
Shaq Buchanan, 6'3", a $190, a junior from Madison, Mississippi.
Generous 6'3". That was a basketball 6'3". Might be 6'1".
I'm with you on that. Here's McLean, a little shake and bake.
Passed up, tentative shot. Egekese was hitting that shot last night, 8 for 8.
Austin Luke attacking off the glass, spins it in.
That's what Belmont needed, just to see the ball go through the hoop. Rick Byrd called that timeout just to say, guys, we're okay. Settle down. Let's keep to our routine. And now they should have a better job of defending defensively.
Stark, silky smooth. And Wendler fouled by Buchanan on the dribble drive. 16-7, Murray State out in front of Belmont. They're at the OVC championship game. These same two teams last met back on January 18th when Belmont hosted Murray State. It was Austin Luke, Dylan Wendler taking off 21 points apiece as Belmont drained 14 three-pointers to pull away from the Racers late in the second half, winning 79-72. And interestingly enough, the Racers have not lost since. Currently in the midst of a 12-game winning streak. And you see, since Belmont joined the Ohio Valley Conference, Adrian. 6-2 against the Racers. They won their last 4 contests against them as well.
Yeah, exactly. They controlled the tempo, but right now in this game, Murray State has been the aggressor, starting fast, and also John Morant grew up. This was his first time going against a heated rival, and at times his performance was spotty.
Out of the timeout, Murray State racing out to the 9-point advantage. The OVC, a one-bid conference, so the winner tonight will punch their ticket, the first ticket to the NCAA tournament. The loser, well, not going to the big dance if it's Murray State. They will be awarded an invitation to the NIT as the regular season champs. And for Belmont, an opportunity as well to perhaps go to the NIT. Inside, Adelsperger, his first points off the bench, makes it 16-9.
You know, that's frustrating. North Carolina, in my time, when Maryland played them, it was brutal checking them on the out of bounds because they would embarrass you and get an open layup like that. Belmont consistently gets mileage on side out of bounds and under the basket.
And that's Rick Byrd and his influence. Breaking down game film. 778 career wins for Belmont's headman.
No
off
movement.
The bounce. Morant off the mark. Rebound by Smith. Miller can't corral it, and here comes Austin Luke. Negakese.
Good job of getting back for Murray State, but Belmont not forcing their offense as well. Playing with a better rhythm coming out of this timeout.
Just trying to chip away at that advantage.
Absolutely, and they're a three-point shooting team, so they can score with the quickness with that three-point shot.
5 to shoot for Luke. And a shot clock violation. The Racers better defensively on that possession. Matt McMahon, year number 3, leading the Murray State program. And tell you what, you coach at Murray State, a lot of times you go on to bigger and better things. You think about some of the greats that have rolled through Murray, Kentucky. McMahon, perhaps the latest. Steve Prohm, Mick Cronin, Mark Gottfried. Not to mention Texas A&M's Billy Kennedy. It's been a nice breeding ground for next level coaching, but Matt McMahon wants to win here, wants to win right now.
Yeah, and Coach McMahon said his fans are always wanting you to win by 20. He says, hey, the team we're playing against have scholarship players as well.
Now, Murray State, a rich basketball tradition. 15 conference titles, appearances in the NCAA tournament. Stark fouled on the floor. And coming up later tonight, 10:15 Eastern, 7:15 Pacific over on ESPN, our Saturday showcase game. Brought to you by 5 Hour Energy, UCLA and SC. A bubblicious matchup between two teams sitting right there. Thinking about the NCAA tournament, SC in better shape right now. Trojans have won 4 in a row.
I like them at home. UCLA, I don't think they're getting them on the road.
And right now you see it according to ESPN bracketologist Joe Lenardi. SC on the right side of the bubble, Bruins on the wrong side as it stands entering that contest. A foul went against Dylan Windler. That's his second. Miller straightaway triple. Morant corrals the loose basketball. And the stick back is good. Morant with 8 to lead all scorers.
Roy, you see where speed kills on the basketball court. Being able to track the long ball down and get to it before your opponent is an asset.
Luke lost the handle, couldn't connect. And a foul on the attempted drive as Sampson picks up his first.
What makes Murray State so dangerous is right there, the broken play, the 50-50 ball, and then the quickness to miss, and then be the first one off the floor to attack again. John Morant was a freshman. He was a deer in headlights the first time he played against Belmont, but now he's settled in. He's playing with a chip on his shoulder. He thinks he should have been Rookie of the Year. He won't tell us that, but he's in a position to really dominate because he's so efficient with the ball.
Morant tosses up an air ball.
And we just speak highly of you. You shoot an air ball.
Hey, nice
Come
work,
on, man.
KB.
We just do all that work,
Nice
John.
work.
What's up? What's up?
Well, you said it last night. You think he's going to be a pro prospect. He's
All day
got
long.
unbelievable athleticism.
Yeah, he's more athletic than Isaiah Cannon. He's more athletic than Cameron Payne, and he's only going to get better. He can kiss the rim. His shot will improve. He's got star potential.
Was offered late by South Carolina in the recruiting process. Said no thanks, I'm going to Murray State. And the foul against Jalen Dupree. That's his first.
Now he's got some star power.
It's a little Dwayne Wade in this shot,
watch
isn't
this.
it?
We had to track this one down. I said, fellas, watch this shot. Here's John Morant in warm-up. You saw that circle. He's shooting, relaxed. Catches it, and then watch this one. Dwayne Wade style 2 days ago. Bang. He's going pro just off of that shot right there. Just off of that shot right there. He's going pro. In my book, he's going pro just off of that shot. I sound like Bill Walton now. I'm going to calm that down.
That was a Bill Walton, Dickie V combo. I'm not sure where we're going.
Oh, my goodness.
Now back to live action. Murray State, a 9-point advantage. Belmont basketball. Top of the key, Haddon. Really not his game. Comes up short. Stark thinking about it, attacking, high off the glass.
The difference with Murray State is their ability to carve you up off the dribble or the three-point shot with their quickness.
Big counter by Austin Luke, and that's his game, the step-back three.
He shot it too well not to impact this game. In fact, he was shooting it so well on shoot-arounds, the coaching staff was saying, save something for this evening at 7 o'clock. I was teasing him. I said, man, you put on Steph Curry on his 21 shots.
It's not Steph Curry anymore, it's Trae Young.
Yeah, he said, I was Trae Young. And he said, I also had 14 assists. Can't argue with him.
Yeah, Luke was sensational last night. Agakese for three. That one's all net, and when he gets hot, look out.
Welcome to the championship game, Belmont. We've got a game now, folks. Belmont is relaxed. They're hitting shots. You see them clapping. They have a defensive intensity. We got ourselves a game.
Great crowd on hand here this evening inside the Ford Center. Morant will shoot 2 free throws when we return. Foul on Haddon. That's his first. And the deficit is 5 for Belmont. The Bruins attempting the comeback, and Austin Luke, the redshirt senior, has been phenomenal throughout his Bruins career.
With their after-school program.
Second chances.
Walker,
Well, here is the new beginning.
knocked out the shot clock. Are you serious? Get ready right now. It's Champ Week.
Champ Week, presented by Principal on ESPN.
Well, the drama of Champ Week has arrived. First ticket being punched to the dance tonight here in the OVC. And a look at bracketology updated by our resident bracketologist, Joe Lenardi, in his bunker in the ACC right now, AB, leading the charge with 9 bids. SEC right now perhaps in danger with Alabama losing again today at Texas A&M to perhaps get 7 in, but right now the Crimson Tide on the right side of the bubble.
Talk about a saving grace is the tournaments like this, you know, where you get a chance if you're in a Power 5 conference to try to win something.
12 in a row in the books for the Racers. Their last loss against Belmont, as we indicated. And this is one of those leagues, AB, when it makes the field of 68, the automatic bid. A team from a conference like this, very dangerous. There's NBA talent on some of these rosters,
absolutely,
as we've discussed. And there's great coaching in the OVC, as we've talked about. You think back to Murray State in the past, they pulled off upsets against teams like NC State, Vanderbilt. Inside, the putback. Agakese connects. He's got 5.
Absolutely. This is, and when they were good, like Murray State, when they were undefeated, they were a bid stealer because they were nationally ranked and they had not just the tournament, but they were getting in from their body of work. But everything you said, 100% accurate.
Too easy. for Jonathan Stark. 8 points here in the first half for the OVC MVP.
Well, Stark is going to get his offensively, but I like what I see with Belmont now. They're starting to get more comfortable getting shots at the basket. Go up strong.
Ekekese outside, short.
See that right there? The second chance, the broken play. They weren't doing that when it first started.
Not sure if that was a shot or a pass from Luke.
Oh, it was a pass. Get your hands ready.
Approaching the 6-minute mark of our first half. Murray State in control since the opening tip. There's Byron Hawkins with some rare playing time in this tournament. Little jump stop in traffic, and it counts.
I told you a shoot around. I said he's like a little Eddie House. He gets inside. He's always in attack mode. Plays bigger than his 6'1" frame. Probing the defense. And then a change of direction in traffic. Being able to finish with the possible and one.
That was sweet. Transfer from Towson. At 81 3-pointers in 2 seasons there. It's 3 the hard way here.
Coach McMahon gives his guys freedom. Same way with Coach Bird. He lets these guys go.
Crowd on its feet. The lead is back to 10. McLean. 3-ball corner pocket.
Did not hesitate. Still running with a little bit of a hitch, but just for him to be able to be out here, dealing with a little hip pointer they were talking about. But I like where he just caught it and shoot it instinctively. Wasn't over-analyzing anything.
Belmont made 14 3-pointers in its win against Murray State on January 18th. That's their 4th tonight. 9 to shoot now for Miller. And finally corralled by the Bruins. That was Mac Mercer.
Terrell Miller only has 2 points. He was on fire. He had a double-double by the 9-minute mark yesterday. Finishing with 18 points and 18 rebounds. Good ball movement.
Under 5 to go in the first. 9 to shoot. Luke pulls the trigger and can't connect. Well, the shots that were falling for the Bruins last night in their win against Austin Peay not falling tonight.
Austin Peay was a little tired as well. And Murray State, in their shoot-around, they wanted to just get out to that 3-point line and challenge the shot and limit them to 1 shot.
Miller. Here's Stark.
Keep an eye on Willer in this high screening roll right there. And Luke Austin, he likes to do damage right in the middle of the floor.
Sweet dish. Inside is Mercer. Luke averages more than 7 assists per game this year, one of the best figures in the country. That's one of the reasons why with that kind of vision.
Yeah, limited turnovers as well. Does not turn the ball over a lot.
Tracked down by Hawkins, the floater. And a fresh 30 once again.
Defensive breakdown.
Sanchez skies for the board. Miller an open look. And finally a foul over the back. Sanchez picks up his first. 27-22 Belmont basketball when we come back.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by H&R Block. Get your taxes won.
Chris, thank you very much. Back here in Evansville, Indiana, and of course talking about some of the all-time greats. Coach K, Roy Williams, amongst the active Division I coaches in terms of total wins, and Rick Byrd here at Belmont, also a part of that list. Victory number 778 last night. The semifinal win against Austin Peay with Adrian Branch, Roy Philpott. Here's McClain. Hip injury and all, appears to be okay, and just like that, a one-possession game.
A lot of times when you're playing injured, you don't have any extra energy, so everything you take, you try to make it, you try to be efficient, and that's what he's been doing out here. Good to see him on the floor.
It's not a Willis Reed moment just yet, but we'll take it.
We'll take it.
Miller, triple team, flings it out of bounds. And Murray State coming unglued here at the end of the first half.
As efficient as Terrell Miller was the first game, as inefficient as he's been in this first half. He's got to get himself going.
Approaching 3 minutes to go here in our first half. Winner of this game will punch their ticket to the NCAA tournament, the first in 2018, and a foul against Stark.
Well, it's a heck of a thing when a team settles in now. Belmont is a team that runs on execution, precision. Now they're relaxed. They're getting high percentage shots. They're back in it. They're a three-pointer away from tying it up. And Austin Luke has gotten comfortable with how they're trying to play him. He just takes what the defense gives him.
Both teams now on the bonus. Egekese, straightaway triple, off the mark. Buchanan tracks it down.
That's a shot Egekese was hitting last night. Miller as well. They were knocking it out. They were lights out, both of them, in the games that they played from the three-point line. Belmont wants to keep penetration out of the middle and challenge shots. They don't want to give up open three-pointers.
Outside, Morant wide open. And a rare miss. Rebound by McClain.
That's what John Morant will get that jumper. It gets streaky at times. When you're left open, you want to make teams pay for it.
One of the more underrated point guards in the country. Beautiful dime drop to Dylan Windler. 27-26, a one-point game.
You can see it coming. He plays in the middle of the floor a lot like Chris Paul, just in the middle of the floor, probing a defense, looking for openings. Excellent backdoor.
Two-man game with Stark and Miller. Inside, Miller too strong. Windler clears. And a chance for Belmont to grab its first lead of the night.
It's because of Austin Luke and his ability to get inside, get easy shots for himself or his teammates. One of the best in the nation.
Watch the magician, Austin Luke, go back to work. Step back triple. Count it. And Belmont out in front for the first time in the OVC title game. A 12-0 run for the Bruins, 29-27, 1:20 remaining. Well, our NBA Sunday matchup features some of the association's brightest young stars and teams with Eastern Conference playoff hopes. Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons, and the Sixers take on the Greek Freak and the Bucks. Our coverage tips with NBA Countdown, 7:30 Eastern on ESPN and the ESPN app. Both teams right now in playoff positioning in the top 8 of the rough and rugged Eastern Conference. And meanwhile, back in Evansville, Indiana, here at the OVC title game, Belmont has grabbed its first advantage of the night. Stark.
Yep. I was interested to see how they would respond with their first time playing at a deficit. And all of a sudden, Belmont's moving with a greater snap and quickness. Remember when it was 15-20 and we said, we got ourselves a game. And now Belmont is taking the lead.
McClain off the glass and one. First player for Belmont in double figures. McClain with 10, hip injury and all, AB.
Yeah, he's been aggressive. The first time they played, he was not aggressive and assertive. Now we saw him hit a three-pointer on both sides of the corner, then driving. He's not known to be able to drive. He's one of their best drivers, but he likes to stop and pop. But what a great start. And he might be giving his best Willis Reed imitation. He's not 100%.
Belmont up by 5. 11-second differential between game and shot clock.
Look for Jonathan Stark to try to get his offense going. And Miller as well has not been able to get on track.
Miller, all net. Big shot at the end of the half. Shot clock is off for Belmont.
Austin Luke likes to play in the middle of the floor with a high screen and roll.
McClain feeling it. Heat check. Miller clears, and the end of the first half arrives. A 15-2 run in favor of Belmont to end the first 20 minutes. And the Bruins lead at 32-29 as we send you back to the studio. And John Brickley. Back to ESPN's Champ Week, presented by Principal. You're in the heart of the Ohio Valley Conference. It's a tournament championship in Belmont with a 3-point advantage to start our second half. Oh, great to have you courtside alongside of Adrian Branch, the former world champion Roy Philpott. And Belmont trailed by as many as 12 points in the first 20 minutes. Came back, and now with a 3-point lead, has some nice momentum.
Starring Austin Luke, he settled his team down once Coach Bird called that timeout. Then he got on the half court and was just carving up a good Murray State defense. More to come in the second half.
No question about it. As we take a look at our first half highlights, Ja Morant 10 points early and set the tone with that triple.
Well, he's absolutely electrifying when he's able to get out on the open floor. You're seeing the quickness, the second jump. He's a freshman, rookie of the year, rookie for the OVC. But again, Austin Luke just controlling the game, getting easy shots for himself, for his teammate right there, the backdoor to Windler, has great court vision. And Coach McMahon from Murray State said he's absolutely the best passer in college basketball.
8 points, 5 assists for Austin Luke in that first half. McClain, with the hip injury, appears to be good to go. As you see the comparison between the senior and the freshman, what's going to happen here in the second half?
Two different styles. You're seeing with Belmont, it was the half-court precision for Ja Morant. When they're able to get out and run, they've been able to be unguardable. Now, the difference is for Murray State, Miller has to come to the party. He was missing too many three-pointers. Let's see if they can establish him as well down on the block.
Murray State with possession to start our final 20 minutes. Stark, step back. That's a long deuce. Makes it a 1-point contest. Well, Stark now in double figures with 10 as the OVC Player of the Year, the senior transfer from Tulane.
Aren't you glad we got the best seat in the house?
Best seat in the house right here.
Nice ball fake.
And Luke, too much mustard on that pass. Murray State started this one tonight on a 7-0 run to take control early before Belmont rallied. Adelsberger with the rebound.
The value of three-point shooting is that you're never out of it. You can close a gap quickly, and then you have a veteran point guard, Austin Luke, where he says, when my team plays with confidence, we can play with anybody in the nation.
And again, that's what makes the winner of this game so scary in the big dance later this month. Belmont can shoot the triple. Murray State supremely athletic. You've got seniors on both rosters. What could be a legitimate 13 seed come Selection Sunday. Ja Morant wide open. Back iron.
What's interesting, Coach McMahon said the top 3 players on both teams can play with anyone in the nation. Great block.
Windler rejected by Sanchez, the junior from Florida.
That was clean, above the rim.
And how about that show of sportsmanship? Windler went right up to him and congratulated him.
Good block. Coming up on the angle. That was a nice angle. Sanchez guarding the rim without fouling, because Windler can come in. He's a lefty, but he'll come in there and try to dunk it with his right hand as well.
Boy, how often do you see that at any level? That kind of play, that kind of momentum, and he says, you know what, you got me on that one, brother.
Well, it's like kids playing, and that was my goal quietly for this, that it would be almost like an open gym. No coaches, no administrators, no teachers, and just letting these guys play.
Watch this.
That's respect. One powerhouse, traditional powerhouse, Belmont, to another.
After an extended conversation with our veteran officiating crew, Barry Mathis, James Hicks, Stephen Devine, Murray State will get possession of the basketball, and now a review of the scorers table.
You sound like Jeff Van Gundy. Just let's go, let's play. Is that what you're saying there, Coach?
Well, the timing of this is certainly interesting. 90 seconds into our second half, You're normally looking at a situation where this is allowed under 2 minutes.
I think this is going to be the hardest 18 minutes, especially it's not just going to be physical, it's going to be mental. When you're trying to go close out an opponent, a rival that's evenly matched. You got star power on both sides. You got a legendary coach in Coach Bird. So this is going to be the hardest 18 minutes physically and mentally.
After the review, it'll stay with Belmont, 23 on the shot clock. And Mac McMahon wondering, as well as Rick Bird.
Gonna have to stay attached to McClain. McClain was an offensive juggernaut.
Windler this time gets the best of Sanchez and Miller.
He was quiet yesterday, 14 points, 12 rebounds, but he moves so freely. A lot of like Rip Hamilton.
It's funny how you say he was quiet too when he had a double-double.
Yeah,
but
high
I agree.
double-double.
Miller back to work, back to the basket.
Getting the shot you want, you got to capitalize because you cannot let Belmont just come down and pick you apart if you miss easy baskets.
Oh, the vision by Luke and McClain wide open.
Quietly, when Belmont scores, Murray State is not running out, so they're playing in the half-court game, which favors Belmont.
Stark recovers. Here's Morant attacking. Miller tries to save it, and he does. Luke dropping dimes like it's his job, and guess what it is for the redshirt senior?
Making it comfortable. I remember when he was talking to us, he said, it's all about the confidence with our team.
And a warning has been issued for the Murray State bench.
And now's not the time to get the rabbit ears. Let these guys play. It's a good, clean, hard game.
Well,
team's competitive.
I like what you said earlier, too, about having to finish the job. Not easy between two rivals.
No.
Already played once this year. Bid at stake to the NCAA tournament.
You got player of the year. You got player of the year and Jonathan Stark. Player of the year runner-up. And Dylan Windler. Excellent coaching. Good shooting. This is everything you wanted.
Buchanan down low. And free throws coming up. Adelsberger picks up the personal. Buchanan had the highlight reel dunk in the first half. And has been held in check since.
But it's interesting, like we were talking, Roy, the tempo right now, because tempo is everything, favors Belmont. They're putting Murray State in a half-court trot. Murray State is like their name, the Racers. They like to get out and play fast. And they play under control when they're playing fast, but they hadn't been able to do that at the start of this second half.
Last tournament appearance for the Racers, 2012. Belmont last appeared in the dance in 2015. 1 of 2 for Buchanan. 36-32 our score.
See if Austin Luke again on this high penetration will try to get inside the lane.
Adelsberger inside, missed the chippy. Morant the spin. You can see the potential. You see exactly what you were talking about in the first half.
Exactly, and we showed a graph of the point guards right now. Luke does it on a half-court set. He gets you inside the lane. He plays taking advantage of opportunities in the openings. Now, John Morant is flat out transition. You get him in transition, he's hard to guard.
Native of South Carolina, the pride of Crestwood High School.
Where's Crestwood? I'm familiar with that a little bit. Upstate radio. Just enough to be dangerous in South Carolina.
It's near Sumter, South Carolina.
Where's
Windler
Sumter?
checks out with 3 personals.
Is that an American state? I don't know about you guys. You know, I am a Clemson football fan, though. I'll tell you that.
Windler, an elite golfer. And one of the top players in the OVC. Crowd on its feet once again. McClain rejected. Saint just got there. And Stark fouled from behind.
Roy, you could see where the Racers just want that opportunity to get out and run. Good block right here at the basket. which triggers a fast break, the deflection, and not giving up. Sanchez doing a wonderful job at the rim.
So Windler on the bench, AB, with 3 fouls. Belmont leads by 2. Morant will try to change it, and he cannot. Chased down by Sampson.
You got to hit clutch shots, open shots as well, because this is the championship. You may not get a lot of opportunities to cut into a lead.
Luke. Adelsberger fouled from behind. Free throws upcoming for Belmont. So Ja Morant picks up his first.
One thing Coach McMahon said is that he didn't want his team to scramble the defense. Right there, you're already beat because you're playing catch up, and then you attract a defender like Sanchez, and he passes it out to his big. Boy, he makes a living easier for his big guys because penetration breaks down the defense. You don't want penetration. Belmont
known as a three-point shooting team, and also with athletic bigs, perhaps not what they wanted this year inside, according to Rick Byrd. It's been center by committee. That's one of the differences between this Bruins program now and maybe the last time it went to the tournament in 2015. Still a one-possession game. Miller can't connect.
Miller part of the three-headed monster with Miller, Morant, and Jonathan Stark. Nice pass. Nice pass.
Wide open and too easy. Adelsberger with 7 off the bench.
Austin Luke is playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers. And what I mean is he's 2 or 3 moves ahead of everyone else. He can see a play happening before it happens. A lot like Magic Johnson in my era and Larry Bird. So smart.
He makes it look easy.
Yeah, absolutely. Controlling the game.
4 to shoot. Stark launches and connects. 39-37.
Nice up and under. Nice hesitation. Where is this young man coming from? Wow.
McLean with 15 points tonight, Adrian.
And not 100%. He's stop and go. He's giving his own Jonathan Stark imitation. Belmont moving better defensively, trying to close out. Got to hit that open shot.
And Morant does it, the freshman. 41-40, Morant with 15.
Everything you want in a championship game. You got history, you have star power, you have excellent guard play. Nice drive.
Sampson off the mark. No look, Sanchez is there. Racers by 1.
There was a commercial years ago that says the car sells itself. Travel, this game is selling itself. Excellent play both
Murray
ways.
State 42, Belmont 41. 13:39 remaining. Dropping dimes like it's hot. Terrell Miller, get you some. Murray State, Belmont at the OVC championship game. Welcome to Evansville, Indiana. And tell you what, back and forth we go the last couple of minutes, AB, and the Racers racing out to the advantage.
An absolute thing of beauty. We were talking about this where you've got heavyweights. Belmont, a traditional power. Murray State, a traditional power. Look at that, the OVC championships. You've got players of the years right here. Strategy, everything you'd want, and a high winner-take-all game.
Now Belmont, it should be pointed out, joined the OVC back in 2013, so the 2 championships, perhaps that appears to be a low number. That's the reason why. Ja Morant, the freshman, will cross the timeline and set up the offense.
Murray State now has gotten out of their funk. Miller is moving better. John Morant hitting clutch baskets, and Stark is always a threat. Kyrie Irving, his favorite basketball player.
Miller, deep triple. Just 2 for 13 from the floor tonight for Terrell Miller. After pouring in 18 in the semifinal comeback win against Jacksonville State. Luke wide open, that's his spot.
John Morant got away with one. They tried to switch it back and didn't get there in time, but Luke Austin just missed that. Nice stop and scroll.
Beautiful move by Jonathan Stark, the player of the year in the OVC. 15 points tonight.
This is what I was hoping for, that it was just like a street ball game. No coaches, no teachers, just young people out there playing for the love of the game. I think we have that tonight, Roy.
And playing for the first ticket to the NCAA tournament as well.
Go straight up on the jump hook for Monze. One-on-one coverage.
Ekekese down low, in and out. Morant skies for the rebound. Racers by 3.
Pace quicken now. Murray State likes that. Likes to be on the attack, playing fast.
Here's Buchanan into the paint.
Got fouled on that one. That was an ugly shot, but he did get fouled. They just let him play.
Luke Ekekese. And a foul inside against Belmont. That goes against Mac Mercer, his second. Jonathan Stark getting it done. The OVC player of the year. He's got 15. Racers by 3.
You believe in second chances? Well, here is the new beginning.
Knocked out the shot clock. Are you serious?
Get ready right now with Champ Week. Champ Week, presented by Principal on ESPN.
Champ Week is here, and it continues through March 11th. You see the trilogy. 2015, a game winner at the buzzer from Taylor Barnett. Go back to 2013, Belmont again in OT, and these two rivals have a history of playing close contests.
Yeah, I had the privilege of calling that one at 13 to overtime.
Taylor Barnett in the house tonight, too.
Little lefty.
Back to live action. Moran off the mark, corralled by McClain in transition. The Bruins trail by 3 after capturing a 5-point advantage moments ago.
See if Dylan Windler can get going again. He's a player that can shoot the three-pointer. He can finish at the rim with both hands, moves without the basketball. You've got to get your best players always in attack mode.
Only 6 points tonight, AB. That's got to change for Belmont to come back. Luke off the mark, an air ball. Hawkins and Mercer hit the deck.
Good hustle, good clean game, coming out of timeouts. Murray State wants to get to the Belmont shooters. Shot clock reset at 29.
And a shot clock violation as Luke was unable to hit the rim.
Now, one thing you made a point, Roy, with Belmont and the bigs, and whatever you can get, shot clock violation right there, but whatever they can get from the bigs, it's still good because you're subbing 6'11" for 6'10" for 6'9". You always have a big presence, and that's an asset for Belmont.
Stark off the glass. He's got that floater down pat, doesn't he? 17 tonight.
Playing with pride. He had a quiet game, an off game the last time Belmont played him, and now he's not allowing himself to be guarded.
McClain, the response.
What did Kevin McClain eat at pregame?
I want some, right?
Gunpowder. And he has been on fire. 17
points for Kevin McClain, a junior from Jennings, Florida. And a foul against number 11, top of the key. That'll be his second.
That was just a good, clean crossover. You're going to get fouls on you. McClain checking Stark, but McClain also is attacking him. So when Stark scores, he can't get in the home run trot because McClain is coming back on him.
Remember, too, McClain went out at the end of the first half yesterday in the semifinal win against Austin Peay with a hip injury. Didn't come back for 25 minutes. Fresh 30 as Hawkins claims the rebound. We were wondering at shoot-around earlier today if he was even going to play tonight.
Absolutely.
He showed up in a big way.
I'm so happy just for the young man to be out here and try to get a win for first ticket to the NCAA tournament.
Halfway through the second half, 8 to shoot for Jonathan Stark. Double team, step back. Triple is all net. 20 points for Jonathan Stark.
The quiet leader. You can't tell by his face if he's 20 points up or 20 points down. Right now they're up by 6.
Luke, bounce pass, McClain. Back iron. Dupree controls.
There's better balance now for Murray State offensively. John Morant able to get to the basket or get to the free throw line. Jonathan Stark scoring well. So there's been a better balance offensively. Points in the paint or right there at the three-point line.
Stark has the last 7 for the Racers. Off target here. Big possession now for Belmont. Inside. It's what he does best.
Coach McMahon said he's the best passer in college basketball. The vision, again, he plays chess. He's 2 and 3 moves ahead of his opponent and makes the game so easy.
8 assists tonight for Austin Luke, 1 over his season average. And again, that would make Belmont extremely dangerous in the NCAA tournament, busting up brackets, if you will.
Both teams, if they get in, can bust a bracket.
Miller. And Dupree inside, an offensive foul. That's his second. Don't forget, coming up later tonight, 10:15 Eastern, 7:15 Pacific on ESPN. Saturday showcase game presented by 5 Hour Energy Returns. SC and UCLA, both teams on the NCAA tournament bubble. Also available on the ESPN app. SC has won 4 in a row and in position, but a loss tonight would be devastating.
What do I have up? I'm not waving.
Number 5. You like the Trojans?
Cinco. I'm going Cinco. I'm going with number 5 with them. They're up and down. Heckler and Jide, I think they'll be dialed in on this game.
Bruins trying to dial in on this possession. Outside Sampson, in and out. Now Burton Sampson getting extended minutes tonight due to the injury to Nick Hopkins. Sampson, a former walk-on. Hopkins, a 3-point shooter. He's been out for this tournament. A big loss for Belmont. Morant, the crossover. Buchanan for 3. Count it!
John Morant can get that anytime because of his ability to get separation on Luke Austin. He turned the tables on what Luke Austin has been doing against him. Getting inside and kicking it to open shooters. Got ourselves a good game here, Mr. Philpott.
Racers by 7. Here's Windler. Luke wants it. Probing outside. Sampson. Short. Sampson gets it back. Windler for 3. On the way and count it.
Remember, we just said that. The drive, the sucking it in, the defender drawing him in and passing it out to the open shooter. This is number 1 and 2 in the conference in assists. John Morant, number 2, and Austin Luke, number 1.
Stark. Miller clears some space. And a battle for the rebound. The foul against Murray State. John Morant with 15 points. He's dropped 3 dimes. And a sweet look here for the open triple for Big Shaq. John, thank you very much. And a quick reminder, Sports Center after SC UCLA with Bucci and Anderson coming up later tonight. The Rockets aim for 15 in a row, plus post-game reaction from Carolina Duke, with insight from Jay Billis, and NFL Combine is underway. How the top QBs all perform, 12:15 a.m. Eastern, 9:15 Pacific on ESPN and the ESPN app. Back in Evansville, the OVC Championship. Winner tonight will punch their first ticket to the dance of this 2018 season. And right now, Murray State a 4-point lead. Luke out of the timeout. Hangs too strong. Sanchez finally claims the basketball.
That was a big possession for Belmont because now it's getting ready to be under 6 minutes. So they've got to hold and they've got to try to chip into this lead. Watch Jonathan Stark on the high screen and roll. Look for himself for that three-point shot.
Outside to Miller. Has that shot in his repertoire and shows it off once again. The lead is 7.
He's built to be close to the basket, but he's more effective facing the basket. I like him shooting threes. Where's the scoring going to come from Belmont? Go flat-footed on that possession.
Buchanan the steal. 1-on-2 fast break. Traveling. Every possession so critical at this late moment in this contest.
This is from Jonathan Stark with his ability to attract the defense and leaving it wide open. Unselfish play for Miller. He saw that first shot go through the basket. He was on fire last night, but now that was a timely three-point dagger.
Miller 3 of 16 from the floor, but he's made his last one.
Miller as well can hit a three-point shot, or he can drive to the basket. He's a hard, tough matchup.
Barely drew iron. Outstanding defense by Buchanan.
Yeah, no one touched the ball. Toughest time to score on a good defense is when it's set. Watch John Moran as well on the high screen and roll for Miller. They get it back to him. He looks for that three-point shot.
Stark wide open. Tap to McLean. And a foul called against Austin Luke.
Guys are pursuing the basket. That was a good job by Buchanan. Tracking the long shot. Good call. Good call, riding him out.
Murray State being the bonus the rest of the way.
Keep an eye on the backdoor cut. Both teams like to score on an out of bounds underneath the basket.
Last NCAA tournament appearance for the Racers, 2012. Belmont last reached the big dance in 2015.
Jonathan Stark now, he's a 90% free throw shooter, so once you're under 5 minutes, he hits clutch baskets.
Stark! Murray State crowd back on its feet, and they are loud.
Got to get a score, get to the free throw line on this possession. You got to stay attached. Bad pass.
And Belmont losing its cool. Buchanan down low. And Rick Byrd has seen enough. Timeout Belmont. 59-48. Murray State out in front. As we send you back to the studio and John Brickley.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Principal. Investments, retirement, insurance.
Belmont has owned Murray State in postseason play since joining the OVC back in 2013, including that victory against the Racers in overtime as Rick Byrd celebrated another conference title. But tonight, it's been a little bit of a different story as Murray State has raced out to this 11-point advantage. Bruins have won the last 4 in this rivalry, but it feels different so far this evening, AB.
Well, it's interesting right now, the assist-to-turnover ratio for Belmont. They have 10 assists and 11 turnovers. That's uncharacteristic for a team that plays with so much precision.
Windler down low, hangs, blocked, and a foul against Miller. Free throws coming up for the Bruins, trailing by 11 here in Evansville. It's time for Going Gold, brought to you by Axe, where we take a look at Jonathan Stark, the OVC Player of the Year. 14 points tonight in our second half, Adrian.
Timely baskets, crucial, nothing cosmetic. He's mixing up his offense off the drive, the three-point shot under control. Every shot he hit, he needed those baskets to get the lead, get the tempo back, and calm down his young backcourt mate in John Morant.
Now, the three-point shooting hasn't been elite tonight for number 2 in White, but everything else has. And the timeliness of those buckets, as you talked about it. When Murray State needed a big shot last night, they got it from Jonathan Stark. When they've needed it this evening, they've gotten it from him as well. The Tulane transfer, he's a senior, Tennessee native.
I asked him, I said, hey, when you were at Tulane, you really weren't that effective. And he said, you know, the year he sat out, he lived in the gym. And he said he just put the hard work in. So for these young people that want to become a very good basketball player, look at the blueprint that he's done.
1 of 2 at the line for Dylan Windler. And Belmont needs some stops and some points in a hurry.
And also, when the shot goes up, hold Murray State to 1 shot. Do not give up an offensive rebound.
Here comes the double team. Buchanan left open for 3.
That was a huge basket and then a costly turnover. Now, Belmont has to press up, but Murray State is a quicker team, so they won't be bothered by the pressure like they were yesterday with Jacksonville State. They're not as quick as Jacksonville State.
Stark is fouled. Murray State with its largest lead of this game. And Windler now has 4 personals.
When you get the 4th option knocking down a shot, Buchanan is the 4th option and hits a huge 3-point shot. That takes the wind out your sails.
Shaq Buchanan, 30% from downtown this year. He's hit 2 big triples tonight. Maybe that's what it takes to win a championship. Those role players stepping up in clutch moments.
To compliment Jonathan Stark, the Player of the Year, and a 90% free throw shooter, John Morant, who's represented himself very well against Luke Austin.
Jonathan Stark, 24 points.
And for Belmont, they've got to go quick. They're like University of Virginia. They can play deliberate, but they've got to try to score quickly.
Bruins running out of time. Egekese back iron. And Murray State can feel it now.
Jonathan Stark will keep the ball in his hand and he'll look to attack in the last 8 seconds of the shot clock. And again, he's a 90% free throw shooter.
Miller. That's been his spot all tournament. And he points right to us, knowing how big that was. Another dagger.
Hey, we're neutral parties.
Luke off the mark, an air ball out of bounds. Listen to this crowd.
I had to do my own Michael Jordan, like, hey, I'm neutral. Can Murray State close it out? They put themselves in a position up by 18 against a Belmont powerhouse.
Now coming up later tonight, 10:15 Eastern, 7:15 Pacific over on ESPN, a Pac-12 rivalry, SC, UCLA. Both teams on the NCAA tournament bubble, according to Joey Brackets. This one also available on the ESPN app. Bruins won the first matchup back on February 3rd. And the Trojans looking for that coveted first-round bye in next week's Pac-12 tournament. That's later tonight on ESPN.
What a proud performance for Murray State. Jonathan Stark answering the bell. John Morant, Miller, Buchanan, the fourth option, hit 30%. You said 30% three-point shooter.
Matt McMahon looking at getting the Racers back to the dance for the first time since 2012. Approaching 2 minutes to play.
Now, it doesn't look like they're going to foul, so now you cannot foul in this possession. Especially that young man Stark. When he gives it up, you try to deny him and not let him get the ball back. But if I'm Stark, I want to attack the basket.
Here's Morant attacking himself. Gets it back a second time. Outside to Hawkins.
Don't like that shot. Pull it back out. You're up by 18. Run some time off the clock.
And Miller fouls Ekekese.
That's what they're talking to with Buchanan. You've got to pass the ball. Young man, what are you doing? Going for stats, or are you trying to go for a championship? Hawkins.
94 seconds remaining. This tournament moved to Evansville, Indiana this year after being hosted in Nashville for 23 of the last 25 years. And Murray State has taken advantage. Their crowd has showed up in a big way tonight. They've been loud, they've been proud, and on their feet in this second half, AB.
They showed a lot of courage when they were down in the first half. They were leading, then Belmont came out, got the lead. Then in the second half, they were able to get control with Jonathan Stark and his ability to stop at the three-point line and keep Belmont off balance.
Banker checks in for the first time for Belmont as Luke goes out.
Look at a Belmont team that averages almost 80 points a game, and they have 49. So the defensive adjustments as well. Murray State did a good job of tagging the three-point shooters.
To that point, Bruins with just 17 points in this second half. They have been stuck in quicksand, it feels like. Gritty effort by this man, McClain. He'll send that pass out of bounds, however. And with time winding down, Murray State in control.
Rick Bird calling it off now. Calling off the press. Valiant job. Belmont came out, gave it a good shot, but then Murray State and the pressure wore them down to get themselves a huge lead.
And a quick timeout called by Mac McMahon. He'll get some of his reserves in. Breon Whitley checking in for the first time in this tournament. And the celebration about 53 seconds away from getting serious.
It's been earned. The applause for Jonathan Stark. It's been earned. The hugs and the affection and the respect.
Let the rest of the country take note. If you get Murray State in your bracket in about 8 days, beware. These guys can ball.
Yeah. Jonathan Stark can shoot the three-pointer. John Morant has a high ceiling with his ability to create inside the lane and in transition.
Well, I can hear Seth Greenberg and Jay Will now talking about Murray State in the brackets. The selection show as they get everything.
Seth's going to be talking real fast when I think you're going to sound like an auctioneer.
That's right. That. But look out for Murray State.
Going to be tough.
Time winding down. McClain fouled, attacking.
I'm so happy for McClain. It looks like they're not going to get this one again. I never like to call games. I never like to call games, Roy Philpott.
AB.
I never like to call. I'm going to let you call it.
Come on now.
I'm going to let you call it. But how about the performance of McClain? Kevin McClain came out and had a big-time game for his team.
Whitley the foul outside the three-point arc. Belmont now in the bonus. Bruins will end their season at 24-9, and for Rick Byrd, it's a couple of years in a row. Bruins were ousted early in the OVC tournament, this time in the championship game.
Everything has to go right as well. You got to make sure that your key guys are not injured. It's not when you play, it's who you play. Murray State, their rival, has lost 4 in a row, so they came out with a determination that they weren't going to let this opportunity get past them. They've earned it.
They had the bigger chip tonight.
Yeah. They did.
Bigger chip on the shoulder. Now the Racers may have lost 4 in a row to Belmont, but right now carrying the longest winning streak in the nation into the tournament. And after tonight, that streak will reach 13.
Edgar Case finishing his career. Wonderful job. He's been to the NCAA tournament. Luke Austin as well. Great guys in the program. Excellent.
3-second difference between game and shot clock. Hopewell thinking about it. Seeing action for the first time
Coach,
in
what
10
you think?
games.
Don't blame me, Coach. I'm down on the bench. Coach, let me get a stat going.
Oh, he wants it. Hopewell wants it.
That's the question. Showing a little class right there.
A lot
Took
of
one
class.
for the team.
Yes, he did.
I think I might have jacked it and been upset myself, but 2 classy programs, 2 classy coaches.
Time winding down. McClain short of the horn, and that's going to do it. The first ticket to the big dance has been punched. Murray State defeats Belmont. For the first time since 2012, the Racers are going dancing, Adrian, and a performance here in Evansville. No one inside this arena will forget. And Jonathan Stark with 24 to lead the charge tonight.
You said the word, lead. He was able to live up to the billing of the best player in the conference, leading his team. Excellent job. Both teams represented themselves well. This was a great game.
The Racers outscored Belmont by 20 in the second half to defeat the Bruins by 17. A 13-game winning streak for the Racers headed to the big dance, and Murray State in position to make history once again. Final score 68-51 as we send you back to the studio and John Brickley.